All right, welcome to the Beauty and Balance podcast. Here we are, Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. Thoughts?
Okay, so I'll start this one, right? So I actually got notes for this. Hold on. Let me just take this thing off my screen. I actually got notes for this because it was so many different things I want to mention, like little nuances. So for one, when Conor came out, when he did his walkout, even the first 40 seconds of that fight was mesmerizing. I was like in it. I felt the moment. The moment just felt huge, right? Then after about 40 seconds, when I realized that Dustin Poirier already got his timing, I was like, okay. Then I thought at that point already, I thought it was kind of like the beginning of the end, right? As crazy as that sounds. Okay, so now I noticed that Conor is now trying to do the leg kick game plan, and then at that point, I felt even worse. I felt even worse about the fight because yes, he's using leg kicks and it's a good weapon, but Conor is not like he's not like a Muay Thai trained fighter. He's not that guy who like conditioned his shins for like years. The last time he used like crazy leg kicks, like on Nate Diaz, he was more hurt by the leg kicks like at the end of the fight than Nate Diaz was. Like he had like a what do you call that? What do you call a crutch? He had crutches for that fight. So I was like, you're not gonna leg kick Dustin Poirier into submission when this guy has literally been through hell and back multiple times to the point where like he's comfortable there. Like hell is Dustin Poirier looked like a devil in there. There's a certain point where he's like where you're looking at the fight and you like, damn, Dustin Poirier got his timing. Dustin Poirier means business. You can't help but feel like Conor is like up against like a 18 wheeler, right? Like a 18 wheeler is about to just run him over at a certain point. Conor has never been, in my opinion, Conor has never been comfortable in hell. Dustin Poirier, his career has put him in a position where he's comfortable in hell now, because Dustin Poirier, we've seen his leg fucking damn near snap in half against Jim Miller, and he beats Jim Miller on the ground. We've seen his leg almost break against Justin Gaethje, and he knocks out. He's still able to plant on that foot and still knock out Justin Gaethje on pretty much a bum leg. And we've seen him, get rattled a couple of times. Look at that fight against him and Hooker. Hooker was giving him everything he could handle, and he came back and beat. He's so battle tested. It's not funny. But the thing about Conor was never like one of those people who was like in like he's rarely gotten into like really big dog fights where he's come out on top. Like he hasn't been in dog fights in general, but like especially a dog fight where he comes out on top. Like he squeaked by that Nate Diaz too. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, that was that. And another thing about this thing was very ironic. It was like a really ironic kind of fight because like Conor said that Dustin Poirier was going to be out and it was going to be left in a stretcher. He came out in a stretcher. He said he said he doesn't count submission wins or whatever. He's the first to go for a submission. He was the first one to shoot. He was making fun of Dustin for shooting, how these guys panic. He shot. He was talking about how Dustin Poirier is frail. His leg broke on Dustin Poirier. So it's like, or even if it didn't break on Dustin Poirier, it still broke in the fight. So it's like everything about this fight was just ironic. And then it was also like, what do you call it? It also gives you I don't know what to call it, if it's a life lesson or if it's like just some type of way that life works. Like if you just go too far to the top, like there's no way to go but down, kind of thing. But that's pretty much how I kind of see McGregor's career. Like he shot up like a fucking missile, and there was just really like no support anywhere for him to land. Like he just had to like come and plummet down at some point from like the Mayweather thing. And what's his name? Brett Okamoto brought up something really good. He said how Conor had all the potential in the world when he was a two-weight champ before he fought Floyd Mayweather. He wasn't necessarily the best. He wasn't the best fighter in the world, like in the UFC. He wasn't the most, what do you call it, the most versatile or anything like that. But he had that potential. He had the potential to be that guy who could be the greatest of all time. But that going for just accomplishing the craziest things, I don't know, took his focus away from being the best at what his bread and butter was. So that's my thoughts.
That's your thoughts, or that was an essay? What's going on
Yeah,
here, bro?
yeah. I mean, it was a lot. That was a lot to unpack.
I don't blame you. It was so much there to unpack. Um, I don't. I mean, I'm like you in the build up to it, and when he was coming out, I told you guys we spoke. Remember we spoke about the press conference, and you were saying that the minute you saw the press conference, you switched up. You're like, "All right, Poirier's gonna win." I was like, I don't agree. I think Conor just knew that maybe I could piss him off, and maybe that'll help me. I think Conor internally knows he needs that help. He needs that mental warfare help because the style to beat him is already exposed. We already know he does not like to grapple. He does not. He's not good at jujitsu. And like Rose said, he's not good at wars. When you put him in deep water,
Yep.
it's like he shuts down almost. It's like he doesn't want to be there. And if you're in the UFC and you don't want to be at war, you're in a bad
Yep.
place, especially against a warrior like Dustin Poirier. But when it first started, and I said it to my cousin. I was like, he has to come out with that spinning back kick that. And he did. And I was
He
like,
did.
oh yes. And he's throwing kicks. And I was like, yes, finally. And then Dustin hits him with that first leg kick, and he immediately switched to orthodox. And I was like, uh-oh.
Sort of response.
Yeah.
You immediately saw his face.
Yeah.
And how he reacted.
And then Dustin started piecing him, and I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna go well. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of flack. I mean, the minute it happened, that his leg broke, and it sucks that happened to him. But everybody was saying, I told everybody there was gonna be an excuse. Now it's like not gonna be legit. It's gonna be like a Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal situation again, and I don't think there needs to be. I know you never know until it's actually finished, but that fight was done. There was no way Conor was gonna win that fight. He had nothing for him, you know. And I just read John Kavanaugh said that he had an injury during camp, and that's probably what it could have been. So many different things. All I know is that outside of the fight, Dustin Poirier fought a hell of a fight. Never doubt that man when he's in there. I look forward to him versus Oliveira. I would just like to say that Conor may have lost a fan in me with his antics. It's just we love the shit talking Conor has done throughout his career. Like, that's part of why we love him. The confidence that he can have to do that and then deliver. You start bringing families and you start doing what seems like forced, fake ass shit talking. It's like you're trash talking a man who's never said anything bad about you in his life. He's one of the nicest dudes, one of the realest dudes. He literally says he prays for you to get home to your family over and over again. Like, what is wrong with this man, bro? I think he's on proper 12 24/7. Something wrong with this cat. I don't know. Connor's, he looked like he's losing it. He does. I'm worried about him.
Jim?
So the reason why I thought that Poirier was going to win after seeing the press conference is because I felt like Poirier, he like the body language was so different, and it seemed like Conor was forcing the antics too much, in my opinion. Like he was trying too hard to prove that he's Conor, you know, your wife's your husband, and all that stuff he was saying. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean?
It's so corny. So corny.
So the body language was so it reminded me of it reminded me of the Ronda Rousey Holly Holm fight. You saw how Rousey was extra, but it wasn't really real. I feel like Conor was trying to like bring that old Conor back, and I also feel like the first time Conor fought Poirier, Poirier was pretty much a boy. I feel like that this Poirier has manned up. He's went through the trial by fire. He's fought the best in the division. He's competed at the top level. He's had wars. He's battle tested. So I feel like he just has Connor's number at this point. I feel like he's. I do feel like people are kind of. I don't feel like Connor's done. I feel like we have to realize how good Poirier is, and we have to realize that Poirier is one of the top fighters, like
Also, there's Jake
in the
Paul out
story.
there.
Shake Paul. So I don't think Conor McGregor beats Oliveira. I think that the division for him now is scary as far as competition goes. I'm not sure where Conor goes from here, to be honest. And with the injury he has, who knows how long he's going to be out for? This injury might change his career even more. So the fight.
Might. It 100% is.
So I wasn't surprised by the fight. But like y'all said, in the first few seconds, I'm like, okay, Conor's looking sharp. He might actually win this. Once I saw that Poirier was eating the shots and he wasn't like phased, he kept composed and he was like returning fire and like pointing at him. I'm like, okay, that's it. That's it.
Rap.
And also too like, and when he got Conor, when Conor was on the bottom position and he was landing the elbows,
The elbows.
he landed the elbows. Like you can see Conor.
That's clever.
Kind of looked very human. If you saw that, he looked
He
very
looked
human.
scared out his mind. Keep it a whole stack. He looked terrified.
The only time I've seen Conor just scared is when Khabib was standing over him after he beat him. So yeah, man, I don't know what to say. I'm not surprised. Poirier, congratulations. Conor, I feel like he's gonna lose fans and hurt his brand the more he keeps doing these antics. Especially, you lost the fight. You're on the ground. You can't get up. You're crippled, and you're saying you're gonna finish the fight, like even if it's outside, and you like your wife is, your wife is in my DMs. Really, Conor? Really?
Yeah.
He called her a hoe. He called her a hoe
He
in the
called her a
octagon.
hoe. He did.
Like
He did.
while his own
No,
wife, he's talking
I
shit.
think he was calling Dustin a hoe. I think he said something about Dustin. He was like, "You look like a little hoe." Like he was talking about Dustin. He wasn't talking about his wife.
I
Trust
don't
me, if he was
know.
talking about his wife, it would have been a whole different story.
Listen,
Believe that.
listen, I don't know, man, because I've seen.
I gotta
saw-
rewatch it, but I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
yeah.
he called Dustin a hoe.
He said your wife's in my DMs. And he said you look like something, you little hoe. So I don't know if I feel like he was
I think he was
because
Dustin.
you got to remember too, his wife put flipped him off, like she put a
Yeah,
middle
yeah,
finger
yeah, of course.
at Conor.
Because of that post, she felt disrespected as well. She should.
No, but that's why I felt like Conor was referring to her.
No.
Either way, right? Either way.
As
He was
moronic as
referring
he
to
is,
her.
I don't think he's that stupid,
No,
bros.
no, he was. Read the transcript. He was talking about his wife. He said he's a come back to the hotel or the after party, something like that. You little hoe. He was talking about his wife.
Oh,
It was at his wife. Poirier.
Okay, I hope not, because he
Listen.
definitely lost a fan in me if that's the case.
Listen.
I don't do that, bro. I don't
But
talk-
also think about this though. His own wife was at the fight, right?
Yeah, but listen, he's rich. He's on top of the world. So his wife. Listen, Conor McGregor cheated on his wife like 20 times.
100%.
He probably cheats on her like 5 times a week. So like, it's, but man, that was very classless of Conor to do,
100%.
especially after the fight's already over.
Forget class. Let's not even be professional about it on some hood shit like that. People get stabbed for less over here,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
There's levels. And I forgot to mention one thing too, completely off that topic, but the fact that he went for a guillotine was strange. This dude talking about don't grab me, nothing, let's fight, this and that, and then 1 minute of fear hits you and you grab for a guillotine. I don't like this Conor, bro. And y'all know I've been a Conor nut hugger for years. I'll tell you straight up, I don't like this Conor. I'm not a fan.
Honestly, though, for a second, though, I thought that Chris's prediction will be right because Chris said Conor by submission. I was like, wait a minute, if this happens,
Not
like
for a
Chris,
second. Not
Chris
for
is
a
trolling,
second.
but
The people that with me, they were like, oh shit. I was like, you don't got nothing. Watch. You don't got nothing. People forget because Dustin's hands are so crazy. This man's a black belt. Don't forget that. This man knows what he's doing down there.
he's legit for sure. Yeah.
You're
So-
getting him in a guillotine.
Is it possible that when you reach a certain height and you also realize that you can never recapture that old guy that you were, is it possible that and the game is evolving, so you also realize that you'll probably never be that nigga anymore, right? Is it possible that that can make you kind of go crazy? Like, because
Yeah,
it seems like he's having a what do you call that? A mental breakdown, like not
Yeah.
even a breakdown, a nervous breakdown type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going to those levels.
Well, no matter what we could say about where Connor stands as far as rankings and his whatever, the one thing that can't be denied is that he's a competitor. Nobody can take that from Connor. Why the hell would he need to get back in there with a savage like Dustin Poirier if you're not a competitor? He could have just been like after that last fight, be like, I'll go back whenever I want, probably just go fight Jake Paul or something like that, sometimes. But he's going to fight the number one guy in the UFC, like he's a competitor. And
Okay,
of
I
course,
have
to
a
your point, to your point, yes, I truly believe that can make you go psycho, including if you're on, gallons of proper 12 doesn't help either. If he even drinks his own shit, because I'm sorry, that's nasty. But okay.
okay. Let me ask you a question, John. Do
All
you
right.
have you ever felt like Conor was like one of the dogs of the UFC? You
One of
know
the
what I mean by
dogs.
one of the dogs of the UFC. You
I,
know what I
I
mean by dog.
no.
Okay.
I
So
always,
you
I just think he like, and I'll put it to somebody like Sean O'Malley. It's like I think he's too elite to be a dog at that moment, like at his peak. I just thought he was untouchable. Every time it'll be like, oh, this person seems like it has this or this person, and then he just eradicates them. Now, when he fought, oh my God, what's his name? When the guy who replaced RDA, I think it was, the wrestler. It was the first time he fought an actual wrestler. What's the guy's name? Oh my God,
Chad Mendes?
that guy. Yes, Chad Mendes. He came through some serious adversity in that fight. Chad Mendes was on top and beating the hell out of him. And
Mm-hmm.
that second round came in, he came through. So like we knew there was a dog in him, 100% at that time. But to say is he one of the dogs? Hell no. When you think dogs, you think Poirier, you think Gaethje, you think
Even Tony, like
back in
Tony,
Chuck Liddell days,
yeah,
like those are dogs. Tony Ferguson
Tony
is a
Ferguson,
dog, 100%. But you don't think Conor? Hell no.
yeah,
Nate Diaz,
yeah,
dog.
Nate
Jorge
Diaz,
yeah,
Masvidal,
yeah.
dog. Like
yeah.
I feel like Usman is one of the rare people. Usman and Izzy are the rare people who are like elite and they're also
Both.
dogs. Yeah, both of them can go to hell
and John
and
Jones.
another one. So
Yeah,
those are like three great examples of guys who are elite and they're dogs. And those are the guys to me who have the most longevity. Or even like an Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva got the
Silver
shit
for sure.
beat out of him for like 5 rounds.
But
And it
Chael
comes to
Sonnen.
One
yeah.
with seconds left.
And he had no ribs. With
Yeah,
no
yeah.
ribs. You know what I'm saying? So
But real quick though, we have to realize that even when Conor was on top of the world, there was a narrative going on that Conor hasn't faced the RDAs. He hasn't faced certain matchups stylistically.
100%. Yeah.
To really test him. So
That's why I brought up the
maybe,
Chad Mendes thing because
yeah,
Chad Mendes is a wrestler and he
yeah,
overcame that. So that was like one of those,
one,
minor
yeah,
steps into that
yeah.
realm.
So maybe this Poirier beats Conor 8 times out of 10.
10.
Even if Conor was attempt to,
Connor stands no chance against this Poirier. This Connor does not stand any chance. He doesn't even deserve to be in that octagon with him. I'm keeping it stacked. I'm gonna keep it a whole stack. And I'm saying that as a fan of Conor McGregor, not a fan of what he's been doing to
Yeah,
Dustin, but he doesn't belong in that cage with him. He doesn't. Not until he shows that he's like Rose mentioned earlier, and I spoke to somebody in private about this, about his evolution. Connor's not evolving, his
yeah,
hands are always the same. You're always looking for that left cross that's gonna come behind whatever he throws first. That he used to set up great with the kicks. He's not doing that now. There's no jujitsu. That guillotine was weak. There's no wrestling. There's no threat of a takedown from Conor. Like, you're not evolving, my brother. If people like Khabib were the champion, you got people like Islam and shit like that. People like that coming up. You can't be considered elite without wrestling. This has been the narrative for years and years before Conor even existed. You do not have wrestling, or at the very least, phenomenal takedown defense. You ain't it, Papa. You ain't it. And that translates to him winning the fucking belt, and then he doesn't defend it for like 3 years. That's just what it is.
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this means for Conor because the game is not getting any easier. Like these fighters are evolving faster and faster. The calf kick is becoming like a standard, like to be in the UFC. You know what I mean? Like it's like you need that on your resume probably to even get into the UFC at this point.
That's a whole
Um,
fact.
what do you call it? Yeah, I don't know what this means for him, but I'm definitely excited about Poirier versus Oliveira. I think
Oh man,
that matchup is insanely intriguing. So
gives me goosebumps.
I think Poirier. I okay. My instinct is to say that Poirier is more of a dog than Oliveira, but like
Yes,
it's hard. That's my instinct to say that.
I agree.
But then I also got to think about the fact that Oliveira has built himself from the bottom in a very similar way, and he's taken even longer and had even more setbacks. So I feel like those kind of things add. And plus, he has some momentum on his side. You know, he's carrying Brazil on his back.
Yeah.
So I think that might kind of even the playing field a little bit in terms of being a dog. Now, in terms of technique, I think Poirier is a better like boxer. Um, but I think overall, Oliveira is a better mixed martial artist. I think he has better jujitsu. I think he has more. I think his striking is more technical. Like the way he keeps his hands in place at all times. I don't know. I think Poirier is a better boxer. I think Oliveira is a better wrestler, better jujitsu, and better overall striking.
All right.
Don't debate me, bro.
To say he's a better overall mixed martial artist.
Overall mixed
Strong
martial
word.
artist.
The only There's only one way that I can slightly agree with you, and it's just because, and I've said this before, I think Oliveira's jiu-jitsu is unstoppable. It's unreal. It's terrifying. It's Khabib's wrestling in jiu-jitsu form. That's what it is. He's like fly paper. Once he gets you, you go into panic mode, no matter who you are. You know, unless you have those credentials. Like Dustin Poirier is a black belt. Let's not forget. Is he like? But that's like saying, you know, you have a national champion wrestler and Khabib was still body as shit. So it's like it's hard to see. It's hard for me to say that he's a better overall mixed martial artist than Dustin Poirier because Dustin Poirier is a complete mixed martial artist. He's good at everything. He's great at everything. He's fantastic at boxing. But like Oliveira is great at tactical striking. You know, he's really good at that. And he's really good at setting up his jiu-jitsu with his striking. He's really good at that. I just think Dustin Poirier is an extremely intelligent fighter too. And as Oliveira is not going to give him anything he hasn't seen. You say Oliveira had a long road. Don't forget Dustin did too. And Dustin's faced the who's fucking who.
I did mention that though. I definitely did.
Yeah.
All right, so early predictions. Who wins? Dustin or Charles?
My man, it's way too early for that. Damn. Let's say based off their last two performances. How about that?
Okay.
Based off their last two performances.
Yeah, we know who Rose got.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Oliveira because of the two people he did it to, and how man, son, he sparked those two guys, like sparked those. Like Tony Ferguson wasn't completely done yet. You know what I'm saying? He was still had a little bit left, and that Chandler fight, man. I don't know, man. I gotta say Oliveira.
But how? He finished
By how? I think he's gonna catch
Finish.
Poirier. I think he's gonna catch Poirier with like some kind of check hook.
Oh, knock him out.
Yeah. I think Poirier is a great boxer, but he's hittable. You know what I'm saying? It's like tactical strikers like Dan Hooker, like have teed off on him. You know what I'm saying? So I think Oliveira is in a similar level in terms of and he's so clean with how he throws his strikes. Like everything is so crisp.
What about you, Jim? What you got?
So months ago, my bet would have been also Charles Oliveira months ago. But the more that I analyze the fight and think about it, Poirier is very durable. He's a very durable, tough, dense, solid dude. Not easy to put away.
Not Chris Mutino durable,
Oh,
but he
well,
durable.
yeah.
But we'll get
Right,
to
right.
that.
Not easy to put away. So my predictions now is still Oliveira, but by submission.
All right. I think this is my as of right now is my prediction. Everything just all the way to last night when I saw them interview Oliveira. I think the money's gonna get to Oliveira's head and he's not gonna train right. I think Dustin Poirier is gonna body his shit. I think Dustin Poirier is gonna surprise you with the grappling. I think he's gonna take him down, and he's gonna do it purposely. With Joe Rogan screaming in the background, "No, don't do that," and he's gonna do it. And he's gonna control him, and he's gonna get out of every submission Oliveira puts him in, and he's gonna throw the
Wow,
elbows on my man, and it's gonna be a wrap.
wow.
Very interesting. And you love Oliveira.
I do.
Okay, so
That's
all
my
right.
homie, man. But that interview last night with that gold jacket on, I don't know. He looking like he's spending too much money. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but come on, son. like, he's earned that. He's earned
Yeah.
that moment. You
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
hell yeah.
And he's been through the thing. The thing is, it's okay. It's okay, like to do all of that, go through that long ass road, and then when you get to the top, you shine a little bit. You know what I mean? But I don't really look at him as someone who's like doing too many antics. You know what I'm saying? Like Conor, I don't know. Conor was like on some different type of vibe. Like he was like belittling like fighters. Like even his last statement when he was like how he pitied like the fighters, like that didn't make any sense to me. Like he pitied the fighters. That's why he didn't take them seriously or whatever. Like I don't see Oliveira like you know. I feel like Oliveira has been building this kind of thing for a little while, like for like the past couple of years, like with the silver hair. Like he's creating that heroic version of himself. You know what I
Right.
mean?
But remember, I did this playing off of an interview. There's no way I can give a realistic prediction right now. I'm just saying, with that little gold jacket on, I got to mess with him a little bit. You know, he looked a little too Hollywood right now.
Hmm.
All right. Next fight to discuss.
Sugar Sean.
Sean O'Malley. All right,
The
so I'll
man of
start.
the evening.
Yes, I'll start with this one. So previously, when the fight was announced, like Rose asked me about the guy, like how is he, and I said he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Knockout power, tough dude, but his movement is not close to O'Malley's. So I knew that this guy would be a dog. I actually thought that if Sean O'Malley would have kept, if Smoker would have stayed in the fight, Smoker would have been knocked out. That's what I felt in the first round, second round. The Chris Stewart is a different animal. He's one of those people that are like, I won't say too dumb, but that moment is like he was like, "F it, like you're gonna have to kill me." You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those kind of people. You're gonna have to kill me. He was talking to Sean O'Malley the whole fight, like you're like, you hear like a bitch, like what do you like? You're weak. You know what I mean? All this stuff, and his head is turning
Yeah,
into
when you made a
mince
vibranium,
meat.
you could say shit like that. Fuck.
But
Wait,
his
you said his head was turned into what?
mince meat, like honestly, dude, dude, dude. Dude, but he gained a new fan for every brain cell he lost in that fight. Like he might,
That's a great way to put it.
Jesus Christ. Yo, that was poetic. That was poetic.
he might already have CTE. Who knows? But listen, that was
He had CTE a long time ago, Jim. Keep it real. Long time ago. I can't believe he could hold the conversation.
listen. Props to him for being a dog, for chasing down the victory on 10 days notice. 10 days notice. He made weight.
100%.
He showed up. Obviously, the levels weren't there. Sean O'Malley had a freaking clinic, spinning kicks, body kicks, head kicks, movement, feints. Like playing basketball and like this all kinds of insanity he's doing. It's like Sean O'Malley had a clinic. So this was him essentially fighting a heavy bag. Essentially, it's what the fight was. Um, However, I feel like Chris kind of stole some of O'Malley's momentum because a lot of people are talking about how tough this guy is instead of Sean O'Malley's performance.
I don't think so.
Maybe I'm seeing a lot of that as far as the conference and as far as the interviews. Maybe it's because Sean O'Malley kind of set a high bar by saying, this knockout is for the Suns.
That shit was
Yo,
amazing.
that was
That
epic.
shit was fucking
That
amazing.
was
I love
epic.
shit like
That was
that, bro. You
epic.
don't understand.
How did you tweet before the fight?
Yo, that was amazing, amazing, amazing. I love what he's doing. I love how creative. I love how he's creatively. Like, remember how you were saying you hope that he doesn't drink too much of his Kool-Aid and all this stuff, and then he falls like Conor and stuff like that. For now, I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna enjoy like the Sugar Show. The Sugar Show is amazing. I'm here for it all. Just
Here's the
like when
thing.
Izzy came out dancing and then he knocks out Robert Whitaker. I feel like certain people are made for that. But
Exactly.
but but you kind of have to the difference between people like him and Izzy and like someone like Conor is that you can't you maybe they'll actually stay on course. Maybe they won't start doing a whole bunch of other stupid shit like going to fight Floyd Mayweather instead of accomplishing everything you need to accomplish in the UFC. You understand what I'm saying? And also, I think Sugar Sean is a more well-rounded um, mixed martial artist than Conor, because of the fact that he competes in jujitsu and he actually does well in jujitsu like competitions. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, and sometimes once again, sometimes when you drink your own Kool Aid, it's not a bad thing. I'm an advocate. I advocate for being arrogant. I support that. Some people might say, "Oh, whatever." Personally, I feel like sometimes arrogance can make you even greater, but sometimes it can make you believe that you're already too great. It depends on who you are and how you channel that energy. But
Right.
Sean O'Malley, Sean O'Malley put on a clinic, man, and I'm thank you for calling out Cruz. Thank you for calling out Peter Yan. Thank you for finally calling these guys out, and not just being a can crusher. I'm happy that we might see him in a top 15 fight next time. So kudos to Sean O'Malley and props to Chris.
I
so
I I
where
agree with the with saying I think when you're that good and you know you that you have to be arrogant. You can't be like a super nice, Stephen Thompson kind of guy when you're that good at something. It's just not gonna
Yeah.
work. And I when you mentioned first time in the chat when you put that Chris Mutino guy, you said that you saw some of his past fights. I looked him up and I was like, damn, this dude really is a dog. Like you look at this fight. But the reason why I said O'Malley was gonna watch him because it doesn't matter how much of a dog. I mean, how good you are at taking shots. When a man
Yeah.
is that precise, you are a human. You just got to be that precise. And Sean O'Malley is that guy. We just now know Chris Martino wasn't born on Earth, and that's fine. So I've seen people get they ass whoop for 25 minutes, but I've never seen a man take damage like that. Like such precise shots. We're barely hitting him back, like just walking toward him. That's a nightmare. I never see Sean O'Malley so out of breath, looking at the clock, like, get me the fuck out of here. This man is not right in the head. I don't know. That dude was scary. And it wasn't scary because he was going to do damage to you. It was scary because there's nothing you can do to get him out of there. You're going to have to go the distance. That's scary.
Right.
that was
So
this was an excellent test for O'Malley because
great. Yes.
because how many people after watching that fight, how many people are gonna want to just move forward on O'Malley like constantly like that? Like, he shows that he can actually get out of danger and he can get on his bicycle and stay out of danger with someone coming full force, not just stepping into his shots, stepping through his shots. You know what I'm saying? It's like the opposite of punching through someone. Like he was like walking through those shots.
Yeah.
And we're talking about every type of shot: uppercuts, head kicks, knees to the face, bro, and and,
Kicks to the
and
face.
kicks to the face. And the thing is, this I feel like this is a good test for Sean O'Malley because now he can handle a lot of pressure. He has crazy defense. He's like super fast. I feel like whoever he goes against,
And a
um,
quick add to that is that he can rally at the end because he was like hitting the shots here and there, but at the end put together these combos that were from God himself in
bro.
the last seconds of the fight. So
Oh my god,
he could turn it up at the end, which is a
that
great,
that
great, great thing to have.
that last combo.
That's Tekken. That was
Oh my
Tekken.
god, son, that last combo. Like I was in the bar. I was standing on the stool, and like the bartender was like, "Hey, you gotta sit down." But this dude, but like when when he did the feints and then he ducked under and then came up with the uppercut in within that fucking 10-piece combo. Ah, man,
It's unreal.
everything about Sean O'Malley right now, especially last night, was mesmerizing. Like he definitely gave me like shades of like O'Connor in terms of like the like what he's building himself to be. Like
I
to tweet the Suns to tweet the Suns thing and then to do what he was doing. Like when you were like, even in the first round, I was on my feet. Like even the first round when he was doing the basketball thing and he just started just catching him with these nasty combos. Oh man, so go ahead.
I'm gonna be real. Like I don't get Conor vibes at all when he fights. I get Anderson Silva vibes. I think he's so much like Anderson Silva the way he fights. Anderson Silva used to pick his shots to perfection, and he took his time, and like he was so precise. And like Conor, as great and precise and tactical he was in his prime, it was really that left hand you was terrified of. Anderson Silva, you were afraid of literally anything on him, anything, because he could have stopped you with anything. I mean, he knocked out Forrest Griffin moving backwards. I mean, he was terrifying, and I get that vibe from Sean. He can literally hit you with anything. There's no hand that's better. There's no leg or knee that's better. He's terrifying everywhere. And he doesn't look terrifying. He's skinny with pink hair, and he's a murderer. I'm with you on the mindset where I'm here for the sugar show 100%. When I say when I say things like I don't want them to drink their Kool-Aid, because I don't, you have to, in a sense, drink some of your Kool-Aid, like to Jem's point earlier. I just don't want him to overdose on the Quaaludes, just have fun,
Yeah.
Get your sugar in there, get it in, and that's it. I need him. No disrespect to Chris Martino, that kid. I think that decision loss was stolen from him. I think they should have let him go out like a man. I think Herb Dean. I'm starting a campaign, a hashtag fire Herb Dean. I'm done with him. I hate his guts. Herb Dean, I'm sorry, brother. You're done. I can't. Every time Herb Dean is reffing a fight, you hear me and my cousin Mike already like, oh my God, either somebody's gonna die or somebody's gonna get robbed. One of them. And he lets Conor get fucked up with a broken leg, like
and cheat, and cheat, and he lets Conor cheat,
and he lets Conor. He's got to go.
Like he literally lets Conor cheat. Like,
so, but what I was saying was no disrespect to Martino, but we need to stop giving O'Malley nobodies. He needs to start getting names. His next fight needs to be a ranked opponent, a very well-known ranked opponent.
Okay, so
I know we said we want him to take his time. We don't want Dana to jump people, but god damn, we're moving sloth speed with Sean O'Malley. He's not even ranked.
Now it's time. Yeah,
he literally was that pay-per-view.
He's the biggest draw.
The best thing on that pay-per-view.
He
normally is. And he only got paid $250,000. Like, come on, man. This guy got NBA teams behind him. Like, pay him his fucking money first off. Give him ranked opponents. I want to see him against real top dogs.
The chances are Dana White, toss him some cash,
Well, he definitely got the fight of the night.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead, Rose.
He's easily the biggest draw at bantamweight, like including the champion and the former champion. Honestly, all the former champions. Like he's the biggest draw.
Cody is maybe the other big draw. Other than that,
oh my God! Please put that fight together. That makes all the sense in the world.
You know, I want that, Rose. You know I want that. No. I'm with that.
No, like,
Jeff.
I want to say this right now. Like, I believe the hype of Sean O'Malley for sure. I believe that he is that good, and it's dope. It's always cool to see someone who knows that they're that good, because honestly, having this kind of confidence isn't just some kind of mental kind of trick that people do, especially in this kind of sport. At this level, you can lose even if you're a better fighter in MMA with those gloves, and at this level, you can't really. So for him to call his shot before the fight like that shows the confidence he has in his training and his skill set. He almost had a submission in there too, right before the round ended. So Sean O'Malley, I believe the hype, man, and I also like when people like can be merged, like the nerdy guys or the people who are more eccentric, because it makes the people who are more unique in life overall, get some
Yeah.
shine. You know what I
So,
mean?
Jem, who do you want him against next?
So
Realistically, not like
realistically,
with the hype. Realistically, who would you want to see him against next?
Can somebody
I
pull up the rankings?
I have it in front of me. Yeah,
Okay, can you name 1 through 10?
I
yeah,
could tell. Well, I'm gonna start at 15 because I feel
15,
like
okay,
Yeah,
you
start
got
from
that
yeah.
Kyler Phillips, who's a young
Oh yeah, he's good.
9-1
it's
dog.
good.
Cody Stammen,
Uh-huh.
Chito Vera, the
Uh-huh.
rematch is still there. Jimmy Rivera, Rafael Sunsao, Merab Devshili, how the hell you say his name? Dominic Cruz. That's one I really want to see too. Pedro Munoz, but he's fighting Jose Aldo next, I believe. Frankie Edgar, Marlon Moraes, Cody Garbrandt, Jose Aldo, Rob Font, Sanhagen, Piotr Jan, and
Okay, I got it. Give him either Jimmy Rivera or Marlon Moraes or Cody Garbrandt.
Okay,
I'll be
I want
happy
to.
with any one of those.
I actually want to see him fight Cruz. However,
That's my pick.
knowing the UFC, they probably are going to give him Kyle France.
No, Kai Car France is in
Oh,
flyweight.
he's flyweight now. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So Cruz it is.
I feel like
Cruz
Cruz
it
is
is.
the perfect storm for Sean O'Malley because Dominic Cruz at this stage of his career is very beatable, but he's also so well known. He's considered the greatest, probably still is considered the greatest bantamweight champion in the UFC history. In WEC history.
Yeah.
He's so damn good. Like he's one of those unfortunate cases where his body defeated him. He just kept getting injured, but
No,
he's still damn good.
but you don't want to see him. You don't want to see him against like someone who's still like a healthy lion. Like
Oh hell yeah!
Cody's a lion. Like
I
still, you
agree.
know what I'm
I
saying?
agree. But
Uh,
I think him and Cody closer to a title is a more intriguing fight. His entry into the rankings, what's better than Dominic Cruz?
yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get a big name. You beat the greatest bantamweight champion
A
that we
legend.
know
Yeah.
of. A guy
Yeah.
who's beaten the who's who of the greatest bantamweights of all time.
Also, still has a high IQ.
High
Like
IQ,
his IQ is
still
still
can
high.
fight. Still can fight. It means a lot to beat him. Like just like Kobe's making the case because he beat Tyron Woodley, he should get the Usman rematch.
Yeah.
Woodley's kind of washed up, but Woodley's still that guy, like name wise.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He was a great champion, and he was an awesome fighter in his day. So Dominic Cruz deserves that same respect, and I think that's a great fight. That's a changing of the guard right there. He wants to be the biggest star, the greatest bantamweight, beat the best bantamweight ever. Boom.
That's
That
like
elevates you to whatever fight you want.
yeah. That's like Izzy versus Anderson Silva. That's like
100%.
that type
Yep.
of matchup.
Yep.
Like when Izzy first got in, he was trying to get in the rankings, and Anderson Silva was kind of like floating there. Fucking fabulous fight, right?
And it was a great fight too.
Yeah.
But I think the Cruz. First of all, Sean O'Malley, I don't think he's capable of ever having a boring fight.
Nope.
I think his style. I think if you're not pressing him, like if you're not like putting like crazy pressure on him, he's gonna put the pressure on you, and he's gonna put the pressure on you at his range. He's gonna hit you with these step side kicks. He's gonna hit you. He's gonna kick you at range with those teep kicks, turnaround kicks. Like I don't know, man. He's just different. Damn, he might. Dare I say, he might be the most exciting. Nah, I mean that's a bit much. Okay,
Yeah.
he's one of the most like I'd put him in like top 5 like most exciting fighters in the UFC right now. Because like
I think you weren't wrong in the first place. I'm trying to think of a more exciting fighter right now.
Who's exciting all the time as well.
like
Yeah,
all that's
yeah.
like every single fight.
Yeah.
So like when I think of someone who's exciting every single
Conor.
time they step into the octagon, yeah, Conor's exciting, but like
He's never in a boring fight. Never.
Yeah, no, that's true. But like I think his moments are, especially how epic his moments are. But like when I think about it, and I'm thinking about like someone who's just gonna give you an overall like crazy show, I think of like Gaethje. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Gaethje is just never. He's
Masvidal.
really never, huh?
Masvidal.
Yeah, Masvidal. Masvidal's
Nate
that guy who
Diaz.
Nate Diaz. These guys are trying to kill you,
These are exciting
like the whole
guys. Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
These are guys when you pay to see them, you know you're not gonna watch them lay against somebody's crotch. They're gonna fight. You know,
Yeah,
so
right,
they're
right.
excited.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Sean O'Malley's that new age. He's like all of them fucking combined.
Oh my God.
He's
He's like that. He's not only like those guys, but he also like brings more like I don't know flair and flash like within that. You know what I'm saying? Like all the different tools he's using, he's just like showing you like this. He's just laying out the future for like the fans.
and how calm and collect he is while he does it. You know,
Yeah.
the first time when he hit him with that first shot, Chris, he just went. He took a deep breath, put his shoulders down. He was like, "Damn, this is gonna be easy." Didn't realize he wasn't, but he's so calm in there, you know. And that's some like shit you get with like experience. And this kid is like, he's
Yeah,
a kid.
man. Like I want to say this. Like he reminds me of Bruce Lee. Like he reminds me how Bruce Lee fights in movies. Meaning the freedom, the feints, that he has some nasty feints, man. That look
I
back
agree.
feint he does. Come on now, dude is just fluid, man. Dude's like water. You know, he's like water when he fights.
Yeah. And he's
Incredible.
good at the mentality of the sport too. He's good at like making you feel the weight of having to fight Sugar. You know?
Yep.
There's a difference between knowing you're gonna fight a good fighter and knowing that name and it's making you feel small. He's good at that, really. He's polarizing in that way. It's so scary to fight a man that's so confident in his own. It's a scary thing.
And he has power. He might have
Thunderous power.
in that division. He might be like he might be top 3 in terms of power. Like I would say like Cody, Petr Yan, and Sean O'Malley in terms of power. He might have more power than Petr Yan.
Cody's a scary fight for him too, man. That's why I say like I don't think that should be yet. I think he needs a name first, and I think that name is Dominic Cruz. But I don't think Dominic Cruz wants that fight.
Nah.
I mean, who knows? All right, Greg Hardy versus Tai Tuivasa. All right.
Be careful what you wish for.
Well, so Greg Hardy, he almost committed some domestic violence on Tai Tuivasa. He actually hurt. Listen.
Domestic violence.
I'm gonna keep it a stack. I had some really fucked up jokes last night. But go ahead, continue.
Listen. Listen. Even though he got knocked into orbit, he still hurt Tai Tuivasa. Actually, if you think about it, he hurt.
Yeah, that's his salsa.
Yo, Ty didn't know where he was at a certain point. Ty kind of spun around like lost in space somewhere.
Yeah, he literally was like dancing salsa. He was like, ah.
If Greg Hardy was smarter and more experienced, he would have paced himself a little better instead of rushing in with that wild shot that he did. You know.
I don't know. I feel like any fighter in his position would have jumped in there. You got a guy literally wobbling. Any fighter's gonna go in there for the kill. Anybody like that.
I know that, but the way that he went in for the kill to me was a bit reckless. Like it was a very wild punch. He did like an 8 or something. Like it was a very, you know what I'm saying?
No, I see what Jim is. I see what Jim is saying because like let's take an example like Gustafsson versus Lova Teixeira. Like he had Lova Teixeira. He hit him with a nasty combo, had him wobble, then he pivots so that he's out of like punching range, and then he gives him that kill shot. Like if you gotta like I feel like you gotta take that moment like look for a second, go like pivot, but heavyweights don't do shit like that though. Now that I think about it. Yeah.
So like when that fight first started and Greg pointed at the ground, you can ask anybody that was with me. I was like, I literally said, be careful what you wish for. Because I had Greg Hardy, I felt like Greg Hardy should have won that fight, you know? Greg Hardy has everything physically you need to be a great heavyweight. He just needs to learn how to tactfully harness that power. And he needs to learn how to set it up. It's not having power is not enough. You need to learn how to set it up. And Gano learned that. And look where he's at now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think Greg Hardy, he's making too many mistakes and he's hurting himself for it.
Why? So I feel like why is Rashad Evans his coach? Like dude, like I find a newer gym. Like, is he banned from all these good gyms because of his past? So
Probably. Who knows?
Who knows? What's going on, man?
You heard that Rashad Evans trying to make a comeback now?
Yeah.
Supposedly wants to fight Logan Paul.
Yo, man. Imagine he gets KO in the first round by Logan Paul.
I
Man.
could care less. Could care less.
Oh man, nah, that was an amazing knockout though. like because because imagine like just being like you're on Queer Street and in his post fight interview he says that he just knew like when he even though he was checked out like mentally checked out he just had the instinct to just step back a few inches. So just having the instinct to step back a few inches and then you knock someone's block off like that's epic, bro. Like
that is
that's so epic. And then when he started like raining down those shots like afterwards, like that looks so violent. Like you know, I think Greg Hardy had like a freaking like like lump like over here. Like it looked like he had a growth like on his face.
Yeah, he had a face
That was
when
probably-
he got hit. Did you see his face? He like he had to take a shit. He got hit. He was like,
Yeah.
and then he fell. It was so weird. And it was a real short little hook that caught him too.
Yeah, that was the same lump that he gave his ex.
Oh my
To
God,
be honest,
Jesus Christ.
So as Poirier said, but karma. They said karma's not a bitch.
It's a mirror?
It's
Oh,
a mirror.
God. Yo, Poirier had it all. I forgot to mention how great his post fight speech was.
What?
His first of all, he did the Billy walk. Like I lost it when I saw him do the Billy walk. Like I lost it. Like because there are certain things that are funny to me, right? Even like so like even when Chito Vera like beat up Sean O'Malley, like I was devastated by that. But I also found it funny when he got on the cage and said, "Welcome to the Cheeto Show." Like you know what I'm saying? Like for me, I could always appreciate humor wherever it comes from.
Yeah.
So that was funny to me. Like when he did the Billy walk, then
he did it really bad too. Let's just throw that out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it was
so
bad.
It's like your father making fun of you. And so
and he even stopped it short because he didn't want to keep it going. But
Yeah.
he did the Billy walk. Then what else did he say? When he was talking about when he addressed the crowd, he said everybody booing, like kiss my whole asshole.
My whole asshole.
Yo, that was fire because you can tell that it was something that he kept in mind. So now you know that Poirier is the type of person who, like, even if he's not reacting in the moment, like he kind of holds shit in because you see with him and Dan Hooker when after they went at it, then he started like kind of like jawing at Dan Hooker after the fight. Like you said you want to break my face, and then he went in Dan Hooker's face and he was like talking shit. Yeah. So he actually and he's very petty. Like he addressed like Ocho Cinco, the ones that bet against him with what do you call that? Chad Dawson.
The worst gambler in the world, Ocho Cinco.
Oh my God. If you want to make money, like
bet against Ocho Cinco.
Against.
Yeah.
He's like the bad luck guy.
All right. Next fight to mention. Are we going to mention it? Are we going to the Ryan Hall fight? Are we going to touch
so
on
we'll end off real quick with Aldana and Ryan Hall because I got to step out at like 8:00.
Okay.
So like Ryan Hall and the Ryan Hall fight and Aldana.
All right, Ryan Hall. Did the style work his last fights? I assumed that he had more tools in his game after being inactive for so long. I assumed that he would have a little bit stand up, a little more than those damn rolls. I like obviously it's a threat because the guy's an animal, but he's terrified to even engage in that. So he finds the right openings and he knocks him out. Like a water bug. He stumps him out and gets rid of him. After seeing that, I don't ever want to see Ryan Hall fight again. Maybe it's Submission Underground, which I don't watch. But
Oh man,
good job.
I want to see him on a network that I don't watch.
Good job to the other
Yo,
guy.
Jem is like Dustin Poirier, bro. He comes off nice, but his shit on your whole life, bro. This is crazy.
Nah, Jim's a savage.
Listen, the other guy, young dude, up and coming. He's an animal. He's an animal. So I'm glad that he won this fight the way he did. Good job. All right.
Yeah, I always hated that you know that girl Ashley Yoder Spider
Yo,
Monkey. Yeah, that's exactly what his style reminds me of. So he has like this like stupid like spider monkey thing that he does. Um, and I don't know, it just always annoyed me. Like I always wanted someone to just like catch on to what he's doing. And you know what? I figured someone at some point would have the jujitsu to match him. Because if you look at that guy, anytime he was in Ryan Hall's guard, he was never really in danger. And then there's other like great like submission artists now. Like you got like Brian Ortega. I always wondered like how would Ryan Hall do against Brian Ortega, even though Ryan Hall is like catching all these dudes in leg locks, but he's not catching like Brian Ortega and anything like that. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm glad that he got him out of there, and that's done.
I don't have much to say on the topic. Ryan Hall's never excited me. But I'm excited for this new cat. Undefeated. Looks good. Don't really have much to say about the guy. I'm excited for him.
Feather, this just shows once again how deep the featherweight division is.
100%. 100%.
Yo, you're muted. You're muted, Jim.
no offense, but I'm actually a fan of Ryan Hall's style because I like to see it as like a video game. Like you got Valdo, you got Yoshimitsu, and Tekken. Like just unique things add to the UFC. But dude has to do something. He's getting old. You add some more to your arsenal, man. All right,
And fight more often.
yeah. All right, and Yana Kunstai versus versus
You
Aldana.
butchered the shit out of her name.
Damn.
Russian girl, Russian girl, Kunstai, whatever. The Russian girl
Kunstai,
versus Aldana. I had Aldana going into the fight because of her hands alone. I was surprised how aggressive Yana started the fight. I was surprised her whole demeanor of the fight because I'm like, wow, this is good. But I'm like, this is good, but this is bad against Aldana. She's gonna knock you out. She's like a matador, you know. So great job to her. I am a fan of hers. I'm a fan of hers. Mexico, stand up. Let's go. Let's go.
Aldana reminds me of the girl that's about to fight. What's the name of the? I don't know why her name is gone right now. The one Mackenzie Dern. The one that's about to fight Mackenzie Dern. She kind of reminds me of that girl. Like same like boxing level, like boxing kind of skill.
Wait.
I think
who?
you're.
The girl that's about to fight Mackenzie Dern. The one that.
Oh, that's about to fight Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah.
Then Aldana kill her in the first
No.
round?
Mackenzie,
Okay.
isn't it two different divisions? Aldana is in bantamweight.
Okay, because Darren is fighting who next?
Mackenzie Dern is fighting that Brazilian girl that
Okay, yeah.
she kind of reminds me of that
Marina
girl.
Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She kind of reminds me. She's I feel like they're the same type, of fighter. They both have crazy hands, like but they're crazy hands, but also very technical, very precise with how they throw those strikes. Yeah, I was impressed by that. The first thing I noticed with Aldana was that she put on mad muscle. Like she looked way, bigger and more solid than I was used to seeing her. So you can tell she's been like working on her wrestling, based on how big she got and also like how she was wrestling in that fight. Because that girl Kunitskaya, she's actually really good at wrestling. Like because she took Cyborg down and she's taken like a lot of her opponents down. So yeah, that was impressive.
And also too, Aldana missed weight by 3 pounds, so
Yep.
that's probably
something to keep in mind
probably
also.
what you notice, yeah.
Oh,
That extra weight.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Even if she can't cut weight, she's gonna fight the same person if she makes it a belt. Because we got the champ.
Yeah.
So she technically don't even have to make weight. She could go straight to the belt if she just fights at 145. Ain't nobody else there.
Yeah.
I think the Aldana fight versus Kunitskaya. See, Jem got me all messed up. I can't pronounce nobody's name. I basically saw like an angry Chihuahua run into a Rottweiler. That's basically what it was. Essentially, Aldana looked so significantly stronger than this poor girl. It was crazy. It looked like two different weight classes. Completely. It reminded me of that monster that fought. What's that? Oh man, she's
I mean that really tall,
that
like
humongous Avatar chick.
Yo, by the way, is that girl in the bantamweight division?
Who?
The one that you're about to talk about?
No, I think she's a flyweight,
God,
which is insane.
That should be illegal.
It's insane. What the hell's her name?
Marriott something. What's that name?
Renault.
No, that's not Renault.
No. Marriott.
Fiat.
Yeah, Fiat. Marriott Fiat. Something like that.
She's not ranked either. That's weird.
Well, she's new to UFC.
Yeah, but she's also a titan amongst these fucking peasants. It's crazy. But that's kind of what it felt like. It felt like a big sister beating up a young sister. It was Irene is very powerful, very, very powerful. She looks like a fun fight for Nunes when she can get there. After Nunes dispenses of this Pena, because I honestly don't even want to watch that fight. I might even bet on it and not watch it and spend the money before I win it.
I actually agree. Believe it or not, I believe that her hands can give Amanda some problems. But,
yeah.
but Nunes is so well rounded. She has so many tools that she can use against her.
Agreed.
The wrestling, the leg kicks, all that stuff. So, but I got
Renee will have to take everything very, very seriously. Like everything outside her hands are perfect for Nunes. Like if it was just hands, she'll give a hell of a fight to Nunes if they were boxing. But this is not boxing, so she's got to take everything seriously. Nunes is pretty damn good on the ground. So, but it'll be a fun fight. It'll probably be like the most fun fight for Nunes we've seen in a while. Like. Just because of the fear of the hands and how powerful she is.
I want to see Nunes against that flyweight girl.
I think USADA needs a room in her house.
All right, so Rose, you mentioned a dirt fight. You mentioned the last fight that you mentioned, I believe. I think so. Or was that all of it?
No, I think that was it.
No, he had said we spoke about it briefly with the who was it? No, we spoke about everything he said.
Yeah, we spoke about Ty. We spoke about Aldana.
But yeah, he mentioned Ryan Hall, which we spoke about.
Yeah, we talked about Ryan Hall.
Then we did Aldana.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited about wait, what we have next week? What's the next fight?
I believe Islam is next. Yeah, Makhachev and Thiago Moises.
All right.
And the return of Misha Tate.
Yep.
Okay.
Tate looks great. I think people are overlooking Marion Renault. Marion Renault always fights her behind off. So
I like Islam, but I'm not like I'm not as excited about him as someone like a Khabib. Like I don't know. I don't look. Here's the thing about people say that he's better than Khabib and like he's like a Khabib 2.0. But I don't know. I feel like Khabib brought certain things to the game that Islam doesn't bring. Like in terms of like first, I think he's more entertaining. Like overall as a fighter and as a person, he's funny as hell. Like Islam's fighting style, like he has the skills that Khabib has, but for some reason it doesn't translate as entertaining as Khabib when Khabib is doing it. Because Khabib is so violent when he's doing that. Like when he's using that style.
I hear what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying?
But I also think that whenever people say that Islam is better, they mean as far as he has a better skill set overall. Striking,
right.
Everything is just it's just like he's more of a complete fighter.
But for some reason, Khabib is like how many times do you find like a person who's like grapple heavy as entertaining as like a Khabib. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like Khabib is like the most entertaining grappler easily, like of
Agreed.
all time.
Agreed.
Yeah, for sure, for
So
sure.
because it looks like the thing about what makes Khabib so entertaining is that it looks like you're being mauled by something else. Like you like Khabib doesn't seem human when he's grappling.
Yeah.
Kind of like how there's certain strikers who don't look human like when they're striking. Like when you look at like a what do you call that? Like a Corey Sandhagen or like a Sean
Yeah.
O'Malley when they're like throwing their combos and shit. Like you're like, yo, that doesn't even look real. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or like that flying knee that Sandhagen threw on Frankie Edgar.
I
Shit
got a
like
good way
that.
to put it of what you're saying.
Yeah.
When people who are gonna fight Islam or being asked to fight him or have the fear of being laid on and held there. People who are fighting Khabib or being told have the fear that they'll never be the same after that.
Yeah.
There's a difference in that. And I see what Rose is talking about. It doesn't take away from the fact that Islam is seemingly unstoppable right now.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just the fear is different. The fear of like, I'm scared to fight this guy. And I'm like, I really don't want to be held for fucking 5 rounds right now. It's just like,
Yeah. But now he is still evolving and learning.
agreed.
So there's still time. Who knows?
And I'm not saying he's a one-trick pony. I'm just saying that's his strongest thing, and that's that's the bread and butter, and he slices that bread lovely. And until you can have an answer for it, it don't matter what we bitch about. He gonna make his ass to the top. And that's it. Just like Usman did. Usman was considered boring. Good God, he's not boring now, but he was considered boring at one point. He was the boogeyman. Now Islam is the boogeyman. So
All right, that sums it up. We see you guys next Saturday for the Islam. Who's fighting again?
Moises.
Moises.
What's this
Thiago
fight?
Moises. I think that's how you say it, Moises.
And
And the return of my bae.
Misha
Hopefully,
Cupcake.
whatever happens, hopefully it brings her. She talks to Paige Van and Pro Gonzalez. They work something out. You know?
All right, all right, guys. Peace out. Until then, like, subscribe, follow, more content. You know the drill already. Peace
Yes,
out.
sir. Good
Peace
night.
out.